Opposing referees, 2 minutes.
Back to Dubbo here for the Junior State Cup Northern Conference, the 12 boys division. The first time we're seeing Hornsby in any grade on the main stadium here. They've come up from Sydney. They'll be taking on their slightly further northern counterparts, the Newcastle side. James Preston and David Stone to bring you all the action. Stoney, what are we thinking from these two clubs?
Yeah, I haven't watched too much of the younger teams, but this will be a very interesting matchup. We've got the City versus Country clash in Newcastle City versus Hornsby Lions, so it'll be interesting to see how they go here. We've got a couple of good coaches coming through the ranks, and Dave Corball, also Michelle Roberts over there in the far side, so interesting to see how this pans out, this clash.
So we'll be the Newcastle side to get first use of the ball. And just taking a little look as well at where these two sides are sitting at the moment. So both have played 2 games to date. For Hornsby, they are still searching for their first victory, whereas for Newcastle, they've won 1 and lost 1. So they are needing to do a bit more work to climb up their Pool A ladder.
Players and referees ready.
We do have 25 minutes on the clock here. No halftime break. And, of course, the two sides will change ends when a try is scored.
I'm sure these young boys are very excited to be on the main game and in this time slot. And here they go. They're underway.
It's a nice start as well here from Newcastle. Hancock plays it. Now they'll slow things down here through Donnelly. Donnelly bouncing around like a little jack in the box. Comes again to Donnelly. Donnelly having a crack himself. I think they may have just got some touches there in time.
Through. No, I don't think the winger made the line. So that's a good early call by the referees. I'm very impressed by that. There are 3 young referees out here refereeing right now, but they ran a punish play and the winger never made it. He did make the touch, but he never made the try line with 2 feet. So that is play through. Well picked up to the young referees on this game at the moment.
Well, one of those, the one I believe closest to us, is young Bailey Wilson. So shout out to Bailey. He's got his grandfather Pat Green travelling all the way from Port Macquarie to watch him today to do the refereeing.
There you go. Well done, young man. A good start to the game.
So Hornsby now with the ball in hand and darting around. Good sidestepping here. Oh, beautiful movement as well. Couple of big steps here from Xavier Kent. Lovely play as the dummy comes out from Guest. Guest links up there with Griffiths. And that will now be the changeover, but beautiful footwork there, Stoney, from Xavier Kent.
Oh, young Kent. Here he goes defending as well, so he can do it on both sides of the ball. And he's definitely one to watch. It's more of a head step. he steps with his head, which fools the defenders. But yeah, definitely one to watch young Kent towards the back end of this game. Here we have Newcastle working the ball through the centre.
Beautiful pass here. Now comes to Hunter Hughes. Been left behind though at the end of that play. Forbes Abercrombie struggling to reel that one in. It was out in front of him.
I think we've got a bit of a family affair with Forbes Abercrombie. His sister may have played, or cousin may have played the game, just the game before in the 18s girls, so I'm sure the family didn't have to go far. They can sit in the stands and watch a couple of games in a row.
Good run here as well from Onslow, with the head bobbing from side to side, the big head fake and a couple of dummies as well, as Hornsby head straight towards their subs area. Nice work from the boys. Transition is pretty smooth. They float a pass wider still. Good pressure in defence though, and that'll be enough there for Newcastle to secure the changeover.
Yeah, we see in these younger kids, the under 12s and 14, that it's all about who can control the possession of the ball. Most field dominance normally wins the game in these younger kids' games.
Henderson with a nice run, getting it up the field, and then the transition is allowed to occur. Donnelly juggled it, reeled it back in. Big dummy comes, play on is the call. Just behind him, did a great job to reel that one in there. Patrick Hancock, he's caught now on the last. They come back to the middle of the field. Donnelly supplies it wider still. Henderson promoting the ball. Here's Donnelly. They work it beautifully. The Newcastle Knights strike.
Wallen in the corner. It was a nice set of hands there by the young men. Normally we see young kids get too excited, they want to throw the big cutout ball. But that was just play through the hands, nice and basic touch football. Well done by the Newcastle boys. Good start for them.
I'll tell you what, Stoney, at the age of 12, I had zero patience whatsoever, so I'm impressed by the entire team there.
Yeah, no, it's been good touch football. Good start to the game for these young boys. So interested to see how they pan out for the rest of the game, see if they do get a little bit more expansive or they stick to that basic structure, which is really good for this age group.
Tully with the run, and now hopping in and acting half. They haven't played that one correctly though, unfortunately for Hornsby, so changeover here in favour of Newcastle. Up towards halfway they go. Great little roll ball too. Strike dump, if you will, right on the halfway line. Oh, the big palm comes up into it. It's not quite tackle, but it's close enough on that occasion. So they continue marching forward. Now comes with Henderson. Another good roll ball here. They just can't quite get the scoop, but it's good signs early on here for the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, young Ale out of half, just couldn't control the ball, but Newcastle, they do look a threat, and they look like they got a bit of threatening. Here's a young 5 again in Fisher for Hornsby, driving the ball well.
Good pace shown there from Kieran Fisher in the 5. They march up towards the halfway line now.
Hornsby sent a little stepper on here. He is Xavier Kent.
Have a little look at him, Kent. A couple of dummies as well, floats it over the top. The idea was right, they just weren't waiting for it on the outside there, unfortunately for Kent.
Yeah, a little bit of support there. I think they could have created a 2-on-1 overlap, and here's a good chance here for the Hornsby Lions to attack.
Kent does a great job to get things on very quickly. That one just left behind, but there is a touch there from Kent, so he's a bit of rocks and diamonds in those last two plays there.
Yeah, we'll see a little bit of that in the under-12s boys. They're still getting their fundamentals right, so we'll see a few little not playing it straight or just a fumble at the ruck and little turnovers that I'm sure coaches are working on at their training sessions, but in the under-12s they're still working on their fundamental skills, and we will see that a bit. But here we go, Newcastle with the overlap.
Donnelly an option back to the middle. They couldn't quite get there in time. Good defence from the likes of Kent. Working hard from the middle there. Back to Donnelly. Donnelly plays it on the 7-metre mark. Now it's with Hancock. Hancock to the line. Hancock still going all the way through. Long pass out to Forbes Abercrombie, and he is munching on another try here for the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, the scoop through half. I think it was Hancock scooping through half. Showed a good set of heels, and here we go. Newcastle open an early lead, and nice Forbes Abercrombie, the family I'm sure is sitting in the grandstands. They didn't have to go too far to watch their family play, and they've opened the score with 3-0 start, 19 minutes to go on the clock.
Do love seeing this at the younger age groups as well. Sometimes they forget which side they're supposed to be on. Of course, we are playing in this particular tournament. You change ends after a try scored as Kent goes again. Oh, Kent with a couple of big steps. Xavier Kent still going to the line.
Stood him up,
Links up. I think they've done enough there, though, through Hancock to get the touch. Yes, great saving touch there from Hancock. In fact, Forbes Abercrombie it is.
Coverage again, so he's scored one and he's just saved one. Oh, there it is
Kent
again.
the big right foot step. Geez, sign him up.
Definitely
the man
one
can
to
cut
watch.
grass with his feet. Such a sharp angle change from Xavier Kenny. Wraps around again here. He's definitely got to be the man they look for to get them back into this one here, Xavier Kent.
He's got more steps than a tap dancer on the dance floor.
Oh, Stunny, you've been working on that one, mate, overnight. I like it. Can say more steps than a Stairmaster. But then again, I haven't seen the inside of a gym in some time, that's for sure. Here they come to the sideline now, Newcastle. Forbes Abercrombie popping it in and acting half. Kent is there to meet them. But he's ruled offside on this occasion, so another set to play with here for Newcastle. They'll touch it from halfway and straight into the action comes Dooley. Good meters from him. Henderson, and now out here to Hunter Hughes. Hughes back towards the middle. Here they go with Henderson. Working nicely in the set. Dooley running away from them more. Big touch coming in there from Wickham. It's not ruled to be forceful. That's right on that barrier. That's exactly what you want to see when you're making a touch.
Yeah. Don't want to get too forceful because you'll give a penalty away. But nice firm touches as long as you're not pushing the player over. And could have probably been caught for not playing it square there. But here he is once again. He's got some footwork, the young fella. It's all right foot. So it'll be interesting to see how the coaching staff of Newcastle say, just give him the left side. Let him run to the left.
I would love to see the Hornsby side put him right here on the left wing and just see how well that step then works. But it is very fun to watch here from Xavier Kent. He's got a great right foot step on him. Big dummy comes in here. They've turned it over once again though, Hornsby. So they've got to get that out of the system with 17 minutes remaining as the wind picks up again here at Dubbo. Beautiful ball. Here comes Forbes Abercrombie with a bit of pace. Good touch made though from McCabe. Go back to the mark and play it. They're up pretty quickly here as well, Hornsby. All onside though so far. Dooley straightens it. Henderson out of acting half with that bleach blonde hair. He's hard to miss. Here he is again. Henderson off the left foot. Plays it quickly. Lovely strike dump. Dooley at pace. And I don't think they retreated the distance in time. Try time here for the Newcastle Knights.
Yeah, nice try there. I think it was the number 3. And was it Billy Mill?
No, Chandler Dooley going over.
Chandler Dooley. So well done to the young man. Diving nice and low and puts another scoreboard. That's 4-0 to the Newcastle City Knights. They're playing some good touch football here, the Newcastle boys.
It's a very good start from them. Of course, coming into this just slightly above their opposition on the ladder in the 12s division. Both sides needing wins, though, to progress to the finals. Oh, here comes a big dummy now from Hancock. Hancock is cutting them up all over the place. Step back off the left foot. Forbes Abercrombie now in an acting half. Over it comes to Donnelly. Donnelly out to Burgess. Burgess slowing it down just for a moment. He's still an option, Burgess. Oh, they craft a little opening all the way through the defensive line. And there he is, still waiting for it. Toby Burgess goes in for the Newcastle City Knights.
Yeah, created the overlap and just scooped through the link hole. And unfortunately, the winger from Hornsby there could not make the touch. So they go 5-0 lead early in this game with 15 minutes to go.
There is time here for Hornsby, given we still have the 15 minutes. But they certainly need to be next to score. Here they are with the ball now with a chance to do exactly that. Davidson waits at acting half. He picks it up here and pops it for Archer Wickham. Davidson out now to Paspan. Through the middle they come. Nice footwork late at the line from Wickham, but they read it well. They'll pop it wide here for Davies. The wraparound comes from Davidson. That is caught, however. Well marked up there from Caldwell. Good strike dump too. Caldwell hopping in and acting half. Up towards halfway they come. Nice little touch there. Forbes Abercrombie pops it away here for Hunter Hughes.
Oh, could have been lost control. Play on.
Called play on here though, the referees. Dooley drops it down. Now that one is going to be another 50-50, and this time it goes in favour of Newcastle. I thought that was probably more veering towards a Hornsby penalty.
Yeah, I thought that would have been a Hornsby ball, but Newcastle get away with the 50-50.
Oh, here is Henderson though, setting up Dooley. Have they done enough from out wide? I think Griffiths hasn't got there in time, so Dooley goes in again for them. Back-to-back tries for Chandler.
Yeah, young Dooley's just dived through, but they've played the whistle. I thought the ball could have come back, but Play on's a call, and Newcastle City a bit of a blowout to start this game to a 6-0, but I'm sure Hornsby will kick back here. They'll send their man, possibly Xavier Kent, on very shortly with his footwork. Definitely one to look at for the Hornsby Lions.
He's been off for a little while now as Davidson is caught.
Oh,
They've unfortunately got in the way of that one there. You've always got to be a live option though when you're playing, even if you think you are going to be a decoy.
Yeah, there's only 6 on the field. You've always got to be aware. As soon as you have a lapse, you'll get caught out. So here we go, Newcastle City driving the ball well.
This is Mule.
Oh, they've got him.
Releases the pass here. A nice one for Horsey, who picks up plenty of space. Mule, was an option looming through the middle. He puts his hands on his head because he knows he was in open space. It just went towering above him. He's not the tallest of young blokes.
Yeah, he possibly need to just keep running through the line there. I thought he was through the space and get towards the dead ball line and then look for an open player rather than throwing the big cutout pass.
So Hornsby now work towards their subs box. The transition occurs, and there he is. He's back on the field, Xavier Kent, but he won't get a chance here because the pass beats them all, hits it to the ground, and now Newcastle have good field position. So stepping off the left foot here is Horsey. He'll play it now and then receives it back once more for another attempt at them. They've worked a nice little short side raid here. They haven't got the numbers. Ball floated over the top. It's a lovely pass.
Forward pass, I think. Yep, good call there by the sideline referee. Call the pass forward. They did have a 3-on-1 overlap, and just unfortunately that last pass was called forward. But yeah, they called him out on a punish play. I could hear it from the box being called, and it's where they try and get a quickie off the link and try and burn the defender that touches. And here's the young man, Xavier Kent.
This time really well marked up though from Mule. He's a hard man to stop Xavier Kent once that footwork begins. He pops the pass here with a short one to Guest, and then under all sorts of pressure there. Here's little Xavier Kent. He's caught, but it will be penalty here for Hornsby as Kent goes straight and hard with a nice drive. Got a release from acting half. They finally do. Mule was working very hard for the Knights in the centre of the field. Away they come here through Fisher. Fisher plays it back. Short ball. Newcastle step up and make the touch once again. Midway through the count. Not much doing so far in this set. Now it's the last for them. Kent threatens with a big step. Opts for the floating ball instead. They just tried to pop the pass and the referees were playing advantage, all offside.
Yeah, here's a good chance for Hornsby. I'd like to see them. They're just going a little bit too sideways here for my liking, the Hornsby side. Try and get young Xavier Kent here on maybe what we call a quickie play where you just dump the ball and get it off the ground. And here he goes, he's straight through.
Oh, and how about the step as well from Xavier Kent? He says there's no touch.
Oh, he's not happy with the call. He's got his hand on his head. He's blowing up, but play on, play the referee call, young man. And they've got a couple of touches here, so they may get a chance again.
It was Archie Caldwell who made the crucial touch, coming back from the link position on the inside. That one just a little bit too low with too much pressure from the Knights there. Unfortunately, couldn't be reeled in from Kieran Fisher as the Knights head further upfield now towards the sideline and up towards halfway as well. As the fresh players get back into the action. Popped up here for Henderson. Good meters from Henderson. Draws it in beautifully. Dooley's off again. Dooley with pace, but Xavier Kent is there once more, plus some support from out wide in the form of Robert Patterson. Good touch from both of them.
Yeah, good touch there by young Ken. He can, like we said, he can do it on both sides of the ball. He's good in attack, but good in defence. And there he is diving to make a touch, but I think it's play through. Did not make the try line. There's the number 2, and I think that's Dooley.
What is Dooley, and that is, of course, his hat-trick now for Chandler Dooley. So he's had a big game to date, Chandler. 7 tries to nil with just over 9 minutes remaining here at Dubbo. Big shout out as well to all of our very, very welcome sponsors joining us on this event. ISC Apparel, Budgie Smugglers, Guzman and Gomez, and of course a big shout out to the Dubbo Council. The field looks superb today, Stoney.
Yeah, the fields are great out here. The whole venue's been really good, and it's a very high class level for our state event. But we can't forget Gripstar. They've supplied some nice bright orange socks to all the staff to match our shirts.
Very fashionable.
So we're out here with our partners in Gripstar, promoting these socks, wearing them around the ground, and they do make you play a lot better too.
Well, intercept there for the Newcastle City Knights with 8.5 on the clock. Big dummy comes out, but well read though in the end from Finn McCabe. They head up towards halfway. McCabe there once more, making the touch. Forbes Abercrombie, good service out of acting half. Straight onto the ball is Finn McCarthy. Forbes Abercrombie, well, he looks like Danny Badiris out there the way he's flinging it away. Beautiful ball over the top. Oh, just falling out of the grasp of their winger. It was a nice little pass though from Brax Horsey.
Yeah, the Newcastle, they're playing a very expansive style towards the back end of this game. I'm listening to the coaching staff down there, and they're calling a lot of plays that the senior you'll see in the 18s and the 16s that will run. So very impressive here by the young Newcastle team.
So Hornsby still rucking it up the field, away from their own end. Gets across that halfway line. A little bit slower in the last few plays. This will be the last now. They need to conjure up something here, or it's going to be a very awkward turnover. And it is, in fact, exactly that. So a couple of flick passes, none of which came off for them. Means Newcastle have really good field position here. Billy Mule, good footwork. A couple of times off the right foot, doing his best Xavier Kent impersonation. And he does pick up some good meterage. Now out to Caldwell. Back here to Mule. So they slow things with Horsey. Drops it off. Here's an option again here, Horsey. They've got a draw and pass. Beautiful. This time it's all backwards. Forbes Abercrombie goes in again. He's got at least two. He might even have three here.
Yeah, Forbes Abercrombie, he's been very solid on the wing there for the Newcastle team. He's just done his job, but once again, just a strike dump on the link, and just unfortunately there's the structure, the defensive structure of Hornsby aren't protecting that short side, and that's where they're getting opened up towards the back end of this game. Newcastle's found their weakness, and that's what they'll probably stick with towards the back end.
So Hornsby still looking to get their first try of the match. The big dummy comes out there from Edward Onslow. They opt back through the centre once again. The dummy from William Tully before providing it wide, and Carter did a good job to reel in a low pass. They'll go short side here. Oh, Newcastle all waiting for it though. Nearly got the intercept instead. They'll still get a result here with a changeover.
I think that was good defence there by Wellen. I think the winger may have been. He just released out to his defensive player and made a good touch. But here we go, a cheap turnover. Here's a chance for Hornsby. They're away.
Well, Wellen was looking for a break. He didn't get that far. He had to head back across there. And good thing he did, because he made the touch once more at the depth there. So back to the 7 they go with Onslow. Now throw it towards the middle. We've got balls coming into the commentary booth as well, so excuse the slight delay there. Newcastle now working away from their own end. Quick play the ball, however not quite on the correct mark. Bailey Wilson, a good call there as Hornsby are off for the prize, but they haven't touched it on the mark themselves.
I am known for scoring a couple of footballs throughout the tournament. I think I may have just got one.
Tell you what, it's very pumped up, this one too, very hard.
Yeah, thank you very much to the young boys. Kicking me a brand new ball for training next week.
Why do I feel that's a bit of a punishment for how dare they kick it towards you when you're in the booth?
Well, we've got a few games around the place, mate. We don't need to be kicking balls. They can interrupt the game, so we'll just keep it here, and I'll have a little word to them after this game about it.
Oh, that is the Mr. Stone coming out in you, that's for sure. Up over halfway now comes Toby Burgess. Nice quick roll ball here from Donnelly. A great strike dump. Oh, it's all happening here for the Newcastle City Knights. Forward they march. Donnelly hops in and gets the try. Newcastle really in cruise control here.
Yeah, they are, and they're just running through their systems, through their processes, and it's a good warm-up. I dare say they will be in the finals towards the back end of the tournament, and they're just running through their processes, trying their plays. I'd like to see Hornsby try and get one on the board here. Give them a bit of confidence for the rest of the tournament that they're in.
Well, little Xavier Kent is back out there, so this might be a good time for them to try and put on some sort of play. He takes the first run now. Or they fire it away from left to right. Good speed as well on display here from Kieran Fisher. It'll be interesting to see if he gets a bit of free space. He can certainly move. Here comes Wickham. Kent wrapping around the short side. Fisher off the right foot. He's caught though. Plays it inside the 7. Kent has to get rid of it. He is the acting half. Does a good job to find Fisher in the end, who takes it back to about 10 metres away from the try line. Now Kent, ball in two hands, threatening to link up, does so eventually, but Forbes Abercrombie again. He's made some great reads for a young man.
I'd be very impressed with him as a winger. I reckon he could have my GYG player of the match at the moment. He's been very, very solid for the Knights, boys.
Well, everyone does love some delicious burritos and also, what's those little flat things they do? Is it a falafel?
Oh, I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Goslamay, that's what it is. It's a Goslamay thing. Guzman and Gomez. Here they go. They keep providing the ball here for Newcastle. It's on again. They bring up double digits. And I'll tell you what, they might all deserve a Guzman and Gomez after this.
Yeah, they play very well, the Newcastle boys. I like the style that they're definitely playing. Has been really good for them, and I'm sure we'll see them towards the back end of the Northern Conference State Cup, and be interested to see how they shape up against a couple of the other bigger clubs as well. But here we go, young Kent. He's got the ball. He's been in everything for Hornsby. Like to see him put a bit of footwork on here. There it is, bang, straight away.
He goes off the right foot. Well, this time we have seen a left foot step. It's the first one from young Xavier. Definitely favours the right. Here he goes again. Young version of Benji Marshall, if you will. Hops in at acting half, and now he flings it away here for Wickham. Wickham straightening things. Xavier Kent pops a pass here for Davies. Just over 2 minutes remaining here. Still trying to find some sort of chink in the armour here for the Knights. Very difficult to break down. That's played out for mine. They'll get another set. Yes, it was indeed.
Here's their chance with 2 minutes on the clock.
Kent with the little dummy. Kent having a crack himself. Good touch, though. Made in the end there from Toby Burgess.
I think he might have been dummy half there, was he?
Well, I thought that was the restart, so I think he tapped and went.
Yep, all good to go.
So Wickham slow things down here. Kent hopping in at acting half. Although they've had a little bobble there in the play of the ball, and that really does let Newcastle off the hook.
Oh, they're away.
Here's the big dummy now. They put the foot down. Kent was there. However, the touch was made by Lachlan Davies, who did a good job to keep pace with him. He's very quick out there for them, Hancock. Now it comes away here to Horsey. Horsey, quick hands, nice pass. Mule
Forward.
floats it on, but that one has definitely travelled forward.
So Newcastle are just playing like a fly play, a peel-out play, where they run on, they run the short play on touch 4, but then touch 5, they just all sort of peel out around each other, which creates the overlap for Newcastle. And they've opened them up about 5 or 6 times now, and that's good play there by Hornsby.
Nice quick hands as Horsey makes the touch on his opposite in the form of Lachlan Guest. Here is Guest again now. Threatening to link up out wide with Tully, who now takes off from acting half before finding the run there of Paspan. Good metres here for Hornsby. Last play now. They don't quite have the strike dump, and unfortunately the pass isn't a great one out of acting half. So change over here for Newcastle, who once more give Hornsby a little sniff. 30 seconds on the clock. Best chance of the match to get their first try.
Yeah, have a crack. Oh, what a dummy. Wow. That's a great dummy there.
He's another one here. He's on. William Tully gets away from them all. They've called him back. It's heartbreak again.
Young Kalani Ale there made the touch.
Away they come again here, Hornsby, with 5 seconds on the clock. They'll get one more play. They've got to keep it alive. Here they go with Guest. Guest can't go anywhere. The siren is set to sound any moment. There it goes in the background. Tully floats it across. Newcastle mark up well. It's a touch pass. It is full time. It's a comprehensive victory to the Newcastle City Knights.